When people think about Ivory Coast, the first things they think of is Africa and cocoa. However, there is more to this beautiful country than people might think. Often called the Jewel of West Africa, Ivory Coast or Côte d'Ivoire is a country located in West Africa, so it's not Ethiopia, guys, and it's neither South Africa. Prior to its colonization by Europeans, Ivory Coast was home to several states, including the Kong Empire and Baoul. However, it became a protectorate of France in 1843 and was then a colony. The country finally gained its independence in 1960. Ivory Coast's political capital is Yamoussoukro, while its economic capital is the port city of Abidjan. The country is considered a democracy with a single president, Alassane Ouattara, who came into power in 2010 after his predecessor was forcibly removed from office. Following many years of political turmoil and civil conflict, business is booming. Côte d'Ivoire is now ranked as the 6th fastest growing economy in the world in terms of compounded annual growth from 2014 to 2017. However, not every Ivorian is reaping the rewards. Indeed, with a Gini index of 41.5, while the economy powers ahead, many citizens have been left behind, with the World Bank estimating that nearly half of the population still lives in poverty. Côte d'Ivoire is a juxtaposition of the urban and rural. Its cities, particularly Abidjan, are filled with modern buildings, European-style boutiques, and trendy restaurants. In sharp contrast, the country also inhabits many villages, accessed mainly by dirt roads, whose architecture is comprised of simple homes reminiscent of a more traditional time. The country has a population size of around 23.74 million individuals. During colonization, the French language became the primary language of government, business, and education, and today still remains the official language of Côte d'Ivoire. However, since ancient times, the area has been inhabited by a wide range of indigenous tribes. This diversity has resulted in a large number of indigenous languages spoken throughout Côte d'Ivoire. Mande languages in the northwest, Gaur in the north, Kru in the southwest, and Kwa in the southeast.
The diversity of culture in Ivory Coast is remarkable, with each indigenous ethnic groups with their very own unique traditions. The Ivorian cuisine takes inspiration from neighboring West African nations, and the most dishes use tubers and greens. Food is often served with the popular side dish of a cheke. As well, according to our source, Helen, art and music are also a big part of life in Ivory Coast. And while each of the country's ethnic groups has its own take on traditions, some rhythms and melodies are universal. The most iconic Ivorian art is the mask. These cultural symbols serve many purposes. They represent the lesser deities, higher spirits, and even the souls of the deceased. All of these elements participating in the cultural heritage of the country. Thus, seeing the strong potential in the country's natural beauty, culture of hospitality, and demographic bulge, the government has chosen tourism as one of its priority sectors and is developing a strategy to make it one of the top 3 contributors to GDP by 2020. The growth in the numbers of business visitors have brought many investments in the hotel sector, with official figures showing that the number of hotels in the country almost doubled between 2000 and 2015. Seeing this wide cultural heritage and extensive touristic growth, we have decided to introduce this service, a website/application that indicates the best touristic spots in the region.
Ivorian economy has posted one of the strongest performances in Africa over the last years, which has effectively influenced consumer behavior in the country. We are thus focusing on 2 customer segments. As domestic spending is superior to foreign spending, our main market is young domestic customers from ages 16 to 35. Indeed, one of our sources is a 22-year-old Ivorian man, Jean, who identified that our product would be better suited for that target market. Our targets live in big, modern cities, such as Abidjan or Yamoussoukro. They are very trendy and tech-savvy. Therefore, they want to know about the most recent hip and cool spots in the country. However, a rich point Jean has mentioned is that they are also following the trend of identifying your roots and knowing your country better. So, they want to go to the countryside, but they do not know how. Our secondary market is tourists coming for the first time in Ivory Coast without any contacts here. They have a specific budget and are interested in visiting the more authentic spots in Ivory Coast, but do not know where to start. Our service will be their solution.
For further details, our platform's name is KASIRADIYA, which literally means have a safe trip in Mande, one of the main ethnic languages spoken in Ivory Coast. As explained earlier, our service provides a platform that indicates to our target market the best, authentic spots in the country. It also displays restaurants, organized tours, hotels, and other useful information and tips for travelers. One barrier that our contact Helen mentioned is that internet connectivity is slow and expensive. Therefore, people are very picky in what they use their data for. So, the platform will include a downloadable document with all the hotels, venues, and activities available that will have serial numbers. Then you can type those in the app to find the information you're looking for. As well, it will have a premium feature where the app will directly organize your schedule and will develop activities and trip plans based on your preferences. These features, paired with a first mover advantage, will be our main competitive advantage. Our value proposition is basically to be the go-to platform with the most complete and up-to-date information for travelers looking for an authentic experience in Ivory Coast. Furthermore, through marketing, a final rich point, an important consideration that Helen has mentioned is that people do not really trust old-fashioned advertisement, but more word of mouth. Thus, after interviewing our contacts, we decided that we will have 3 types of marketing strategies: television advertisement, social media, and influencers. Influencers are very big right now in the country and constitute an opportunity for businesses to be better known by the public. Therefore, we have divided this strategy. First, use a test group of influencers to try out and review our product. Then, social media campaigns with reviews from influencers and information about our product. And finally, finish with television advertisement to complement the social media strategy and gain more visibility. This will enable us to gain a further advantage over our competitors.
Talking about competitors, Helen and Joan mentioned during our conversation that they have not heard of any services that provide the features that our product will. However, after research, we saw that our main competitors were, first of all, TripAdvisor. However, they only have some recommendations about big landmarks and tourist spots and do not provide any of the additional services that we are going to offer. Our biggest competitors are independent service providers. As the informal activity has more recognition, it is a barrier we will have to take into account. Helen has mentioned that there are many individuals that partner with hotels or agencies to individually take customers on tours while charging them extremely high prices. Therefore, we will count on our good word of mouth to break this obstacle. As well, we will not only provide a more extensive platform, but we will be a more affordable option for our target market. Indeed, the basic functionalities of the app will be free. They will be able to look up for places and hotels without being charged a fee. However, our service has some premium features, such as a schedule organization that only the members who paid for a premium can access. Most of our revenues will come from advertising and commission fees. Indeed, hotels, agencies, restaurants, etc. pay a small fee to be featured on the app. Then they can pay extra to increase their visibility and post advertisements. Finally, when customers pay through our website, we will take a 5% fee for commission.
There is a great potential for profitability for this product, as not only there is a developing market, but there is also an existing customer base whose needs are greatly satisfied by our platform.